yourself in the mirror and accept that if you weren't a racist, you condone what a racist did. So that's, to me, the same thing. It's the same thing. So
I agree with you.
Big show. You got a big following. So God bless you.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Hey, folks, the man with the pinky ring and the New York thing. Forget about it. Bad Brad Berkwitt. And you're watching another episode of the Bad Brad Berkwitt Show on the Ringside Report web TV channel. Now, make sure you follow me on Twitter at BadBradRSR. Again, that's at BadBradRSR. And check out my great writing team on ringsidereport.com. Well, today, folks, I'm doing a book review, and the book review is on Goodbye, Gordon Gekko by the Mooch, Anthony Scaramucci. Well, first of all, folks, 5 stars. Usually I wait and say that to the end, but I'm saying it right now. 5 stars. And why do I give it 5 stars? Well, first of all, when you get to chapter 5, which is knowledge, lessons from unlikely places, you're going to read my personal favorite chapter in Goodbye, Gordon Gekko. Love that chapter. Read it almost 1.5 to 2 times. I enjoyed it so much, and I think you will too. In this book, Anthony, the Mooch, talks about Wall Street, but what he does on top of all of that is he opens up his heart and soul, and he talks about himself. Talks about the good, talks about the bad. Now, the book was written in 2010. So he had a lot of success to that point and even blew up even more after that. But the fact that he bears his soul, talks about his parents, his grandmother, growing up on Long Island, were my favorite parts. And he offers a lot of stuff about Wall Street and investing, and some great stories with humility and compassion. Now, I'm going to say something that I know probably 1 or 2 people or more will come on this review and they will say, well, Anthony, if he was all of this, why did he wind up going to work for Trump? Well, if you watch the very first show that I did with Anthony back in 2020, and I asked him hard questions and he never ran, and he said on that show that no one has ever come that straight at him, but in a way that he was able to answer in his own voice. I didn't interrupt him, and I gave him a chance to talk. And he said that it was ego that made him take that job. And if you think about it, of what the things that he said in his book about himself, which I absolutely believe, because I've seen him, because I do consider him my paisan, and I've seen him outside of all of the TV appearances and all the Mooch stuff and all the Skybridge stuff, and I've seen the compassion in this man. So for the people that will say, well, what happened to him between 20 and 2017, I think that's when he went into the White House. Well, you know what? We all make mistakes. And certain mistakes are unforgivable, and certain mistakes are definitely forgivable. And if you look at what he's done since the time that in one Scaramucci, that I think is 11 days, got fired from the White House, and what he did subsequently against Trump to help President Biden get elected, and he's still a Republican, but he calls balls and strikes. I think you'll understand why he said ego and how it got the best of him being in that position. And he knows he made a mistake, and like he always says, he has to live with it. So I only say that in this review because I know there'll be somebody that's going to say, well, Bad Brad, this. Okay, so what? You never made a mistake? Back to the book. Favorite parts are when he talks about his mentors, loyalty. When he went to Hong Kong and he met a certain gentleman who was one of the richest people in America. I'm not going to give all the stories away. You are going to love this book as much as I did. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like I said at the beginning of the review, 5 stars. Pick it up. Goodbye, Gordon Gekko by the Mooch, Anthony Scaramucci. And Anthony, you did yourself a solid, and more importantly, paisan, you did your parents and your grandma and your mentors a solid, because we're like each other. And I'll let you have it first because you're older than me. And I always tell you how proud I am of your accomplishments, which he talks about that stuff in the book, how people should be as human beings. And he does it himself because he's a supporter of my show. And he's done a lot of stuff for me that I appreciate, just like the stuff I've done for him he appreciates. So Anthony, to you, you wrote one hell of a book. Okay. And I'm proud of you. Continue giving back and moving humanity forward. One more time, folks. Goodbye, Gordon Gekko. By the mooch, Anthony Scaramucci. Pick it up. You're thoroughly going to enjoy it. And when you do, if you follow me on Twitter, hit me up. Show a picture. Tell me what you thought. Okay? Remember what I said. Chapter 5 is my personal favorite chapter. All right, folks. That's another episode of the Bad Brad Berkwitt Show in the can. Forget about it. Remember, every act of kindness is a little love we leave behind. Bad Brad out. Thank you for watching the Bad Brad Berkwitt Show. Please follow, subscribe, leave comments. Forget about it and move humanity forward.